Beginning life as a homebrew title for the Sega Dreamcast, Fast Striker has made its way over to the PlayStation 4. But is this a spectacular shoot-'em-up, or should you just end up striking this one from the records? Fast Striker is an arcade-style vertical shooter, or shoot-'em-up game. Has a lot of similarities and inspiration from the Neo Geo arcade shoot-'em-ups of the 1990s. The game is relatively bare bones as far as modes. There's the arcade mode, and that's it. There is, however, 4 difficulties to the game, each one with a different playable character. You're unable to play as the different characters on different difficulties, so when you play as Novice, you're playing as one character, and when you're playing on Normal, you're playing as a different character. What also ends up changing up on the difficulties is the scoring system, and there's a lot of emphasis on scoring in the game, including building up a combo of enemies destroyed before eventually you end up getting killed yourself. The game is broken up into 6 levels, with only 5 levels being accessible on the Novice difficulty. You'll have to play on the harder ones in order to see that, and beat the game with only using 1 credit in order to see the true ending. Control-wise, it's a pretty simple arcade shooter. There's 3 buttons in use. 1 button to fire behind you, 1 button to fire in front of you, both of which can either be just pressed or can actually be held in for longer fire and sometimes different fire depending upon the ship you're controlling, as well as another button that can be used for shield, which of course can be used not only in a sticky situation, but you can also use it to run through a series of enemies for a short period of time. This is one of those shoot-'em-ups when holding down the fire button slows you down, so you have to release the button in order to move your ship a little bit quicker. You also move pretty fast when you're using your shield item. One of the other things is all of the collectible items that you end up getting from destroyed enemies come towards your ship whenever you stop pressing the fire button, which is another little cool thing to encourage you to actually time your shots instead of just holding down the button the whole time. There's an okay variety to enemy and boss types, but not a whole lot of variety as far as their designs. They're pretty basic robots and such. I really wasn't blown away by anything in particular, but the graphics did an okay job. Some backgrounds were a little bit harder to see things than others, but thankfully all the bullets stand out well with the color scheme. The only real downside with Fast Striker is that there's just not a whole lot here. There is a few options to tweak for video settings, like scaling the graphics or scan lines, so if you're into that, that's included thankfully. But other than that, you're not really unlocking anything, there's no real story to be had. In fact, there's not even an option to tweak something like the credits that you start with in the game. From the technical side of things though, I'm happy to report no crashing or other major glitches. Fast Striker is available now on the PS4 and Vita for $6.99, and it does feature a Platinum trophy. There's also a limited physical release, but that's going to run you $35 on PlayAsia.com, which I think is just a little bit too much to ask for this game. With everything said, I'm going to be giving Fast Striker on the PS4 a 7 out of 10. That's going to wrap up this review though. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.